Look, let me tell y'all what's going on overall with mankind, and I'm not even talking about from a spiritual point, a God's purpose, because people still not going to understand that. I could talk about that all day, and people won't get it. So I'm a Lord with an elementary teaching for people to get some knowledge this way. Let me tell you something. What people are afraid of today is thinking. People are afraid to start thinking on how to become more responsible. Being more responsible, especially as adults, is taking a lot out of things that we want to do. It's taking responsibilities out of things that we really want to do with ourselves. It causes delays. Listen, it causes delays from things that we want in life and things that we want to do in life. Listen to what I'm saying. One. And so, when it's time to start thinking, when it's time to grow up, when it's time to put the shenanigans to the side, when it's time to stop acting childish, thinking childish, staying childish, when it's time, it's people that's now forced to grow up. They're afraid to now, like, oh snap, oh, reality has set in. Damn, I do have children. Like, no, I got children for real. Oh, I'm a grown up. I'm now a grown up now. This is real. It's no more pacifying me now. It's no more feeling sorry for me now. I'm now forced to grow up. I'm in the era where I'm forced to grow up, and I don't think it's fair. That's how they think. We don't think it's fair that now is the time for us to grow up and become more responsible adults. I grew up where my great-grandma, grandma, mom were on food stamps, and we stayed in the projects. This may be a little off the record, but give an example. I'm from the low end. I'm from 39, South Side Chicago, low end they call it. Look, I know about all the projects, the high rises that was on the low end. Look, let me tell you something. Been there, done that. Robert Taylor Homes, Stateway Gardens, Darrell Homes. You see what I'm saying? Adobe Wells. That's where all my family were living, in Adobe Wells homes, the high rises and the low rises, the low buildings. You see what I'm saying? So when the city decided to tear down the high rises, when they decided to tear down, which they had warned people years prior to them tearing down the projects. True story. Could you believe all the way after being warned for at least 5 or 6 years prior to them deciding to tear the buildings down? Do you believe that all the way to like maybe the last part of where people were forced to leave the buildings? Because first of all, they thought it was a joke. They didn't want to leave because they've been in these high rises generation after generation. This is all they knew. This is all they've been around, lived. They didn't feel to prosper. They didn't feel to grow. This is it right here. Robert Taylor Homes, Stateway Gardens. This is it. Darrell Homes. This is it. Icky's. This Newtown Homes over there by where Jeff Fort was at. Over there on by Lake Park, by Drexel. Them buildings, they didn't tore them down. You see what I'm over there about 43rd, 39th, 37th, 38th. Do you believe that right before they tore those buildings down, people did not want to leave? It was jokes going around saying that people were not down with the buildings. Right when it was getting ready to spray the buildings with water, it was people still in the buildings. Don't know how true that is, but I'm trying to tell people something. They have to be forced to grow up. to be forced to move on in life. People have to be forced to have acceptance about change. People today and yesterday do not want to change. They don't want to grow up. Everybody, for the most, that's been brainwashed, and generation after generation that has been settled with this program of mind, feeling that everybody is supposed to feel sorry for them, that everybody is supposed to pity them and keep hindering them by giving them things. They become brainwashed by the system and other people. And they come to a point where when it's decided to not happen anymore, it's like a wake-up call. They're like, oh, snap, my world has crumbled. Oh, I might as well go kill myself. Oh, it's the end. Oh, what am I going to do now? And what happens is, listen, these people, these grown fools, they don't blame themselves, because they know right now after this wake-up call that they effed up. They messed up. So what happens is ego, oh, pity party me. I blame you. I blame him, her, they. I blame everybody except for me. And don't even blame their baby daddies. Don't even blame their parents for even hindering them constantly to this point of being adults. They blame everybody instead of themselves, which is not good. Because at that point when they don't say, dang, pity me, man. I messed up. I messed up 15 years of my life and my kids, like depending on the system and depending on this and that and the other. I need to grow up. Section 8, they don't have it no more. I got to get me an apartment. I got to get a job, and I got to pay rent. I got to pay market rent. I blame myself for staying in the rut, thinking that this is how I'm going to go. My great-grandmama, my mama, my grandmama, my great-aunt, my uncle, all of them, they lived under the system all their lives, and I thought I was going to do it too. Man, no, they're going to continue blaming people. It ain't right. My whole generation lived in the projects. My whole generation was under Section 8. My whole generation got free food and food stamps. You gonna give it to me. My mama told me when I was 13 years old, all I gotta do is have a couple of babies and I could just get on the system. Remember that? That was in my day. That was back in my era. Yeah. I'm 47. Those who were born like in the late 70s and early 80s. Do you remember that? Yup, I'm telling everything. We were in grammar school, bro. And dumb parents, our parents. I'm not going to say my mother in particular, but their friends and back in their when they was young, dodos raising us, because our parents back in the day for the most were addicts and alcoholics. So they were talking stupid because they were thinking stupid. They used to tell my friends and them, girl, just have a baby and get on the system, which was true. All you had to do was just, Shamika, Delilah, Tamika, all them, they had babies at 13 and 14 years old, and immediately they got on the system. Food stamps. When I got in high school, when I turned 18 years old, they had general assistance, meaning that those that was in high school at the age of 18, we were allowed to get off our mommy food stamps and get our own. It was general assistance for teenagers who were in school. We got $100 in cash, a medical card, and $100 or maybe $150 in food stamps. I remember that. And that was right before they got into the card. They were still books. Hey, let me tell you something. You ain't talking to no food and you're not listening to no food. I'm trying to tell people. Even when the times when I was getting food stamps, that was when I was 18. My first job, my first career. Hey, my first career after graduating. Went to school, went to college, East West University, downtown Chicago for about 3 months and dropped out because I was homeless, didn't have a job. But by the time I hit 21 or 22, I was 22 and I was forced to get a job. My first job was a career that I held down for 9.5 years. 9.5 years at 22 was my first job in my first apartment at 22 with a baby. Now 37 years old, still working, and now under the blood of Jesus, seeking more than what most people are thinking that we should be living for on earth. Hallelujah! So I'm trying to tell people, the society is brainwashed with just thinking that all they got to do is just sit on their behind and expect others to do for them. Why? Because the system and their people, mommy and dad, friends or whoever, has hindered these people. And even after this video, people are still going to continue to feel that they need to be hindered and entitled to gimme. And weak others are going to continue to feel that they need to help people who are choosing to be irresponsible but able-bodied. Come on now.